Good afternoon. Welcome to the Inspiring Lincoln Facebook page and the Inspiring Lincoln YouTube channel. I am live in both places at once. I'm very excited because I think I've sorted out the technology. So if you're here, could you leave me a comment? Let me know where you're watching from and if you can see me and hear me clearly. And also, did you see that I put like a reminder up on Facebook and on YouTube to remind you that Craft and Chat is live at 2 o'clock today? Let's see. Fantastic. Michelle's here. Good afternoon. Susan's here. Stella's here from Texas. Hello, Stella. I am very excited. Look, all the comments are coming in. Donna's watching me on YouTube. Yay! I'm so excited that it's all working. Jen's here. She's saying hello to everyone. Good afternoon, Roz. Sound is fine here. Stella's here as well. Lorraine. It's on YouTube. Oh my goodness. And Jenny's here as well. Good morning. And Maureen and Karen and my mum. Or Pauline. Goodness me. I'm so excited. I can't tell you. How are we? How is everybody's world? I've just managed to drop glue all down my jeans. Not the best start, but I've got coffee. Oh, Jenny's saying it's midnight. That's why she's saying good morning. Hi, Pam. Donna said she couldn't find me on Facebook, but got a prompt for me on YouTube. Awesome. So this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that you will be able to watch me wherever works best for you. And since Facebook has been having problems, what did you do with the 6 hours that Facebook wasn't working yesterday? But equally, I know there have been some streaming issues and all sorts of things. So as I've been talking about for weeks, I've got a new computer and new software and camera and all the things. So I'm really hoping that everything is going to be working well. Claire's saying hello to everyone. She's in Buckinghamshire. So let's see, what things do I need to find out from you today? So last week I did say who'd been out, and lots of people said they were going to the cinema. Did you go to the cinema? Did you go and see James Bond? Don't tell me, though, if you did. No spoilers. This is a no spoiler alert. I am hoping that we're going to get there on Sunday because it's a Christmas retreat this weekend, Friday night and all day Saturday. So might be a bit shattered come Saturday evening. So we might have to go on Sunday. As otherwise I might fall asleep in the middle of the movie, which wouldn't be very clever. Morning, Julie. Fabulous. Okay, so this new technology means I can do all sorts of interesting things. Like, let's go back here. I can add people's comments onto the live stream. So Michelle commented first. Let's see if we can put Michelle's comment up on the screen. Ta-da! How cool is that? That is super, super cool. And I can hide it away. It's very exciting. Okay. Karen saying she hasn't been anywhere apart from coming to class with me on Friday. Because no petrol. Yeah. Brian and I have both got half a tank, which is fine normally, but we've got lots and lots of driving to do next week. So I'm just hoping that we can get some diesel in between now and then. We've got, so for those of you that aren't in the UK, we've got this crazy fuel crisis at the moment. Basically, a journalist somewhere said, oh no, the tankers aren't getting through. And it caused an absolute blind panic. And everyone went racing off to fill their cars up. And so all the petrol stations around us have been empty. As in, big banners up saying no fuel. So until the tankers get through, and it seems that there wasn't actually an issue until everyone started panicking, but so we're going to kind of leave it till the weekend, see if it settles out, and then we'll go on the hunt to fill the car up. So Lorraine's got her Christmas box. Yay. I've been getting texts and messages all day, actually. So the Christmas retreat boxes went out first class signed for post yesterday, and they are arriving. I hope you love them. They were packed with love. I will tell you the whole tale all about those boxes when we gather on Friday night. Jenny and Mike had their Pfizer shots yesterday, so she's been sleeping a lot. Ooh, Deborah's been on a quirky bird painting short break. That sounds very exciting. Had a really girly time, which was lovely. Jenny's going, yeah, the fuel is a bit like the toilet paper panic. Yeah, exactly. So, at the moment, we don't need to get any fuel, like I said. So Sue's here as well. Hello, 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 hello. Awesome. I'm sure I had lots of things to talk to you about. Might have helped if I'd have written a list, but it's a bit like that at the moment. So normally I am a very busy person. I like to be busy, and I've even been known to find jobs when I'm not busy to be busier. But right now my list is so long that I'm not entirely sure which way is up. So so I'm mainly fueled on coffee. And I was chatting to the team this morning, and Sally's baking for her team, actually, and she's talking about lemon cake. So I think this evening I'm going to be making some tray bake, some lemon drizzle tray bake, so that I've got some cake to keep me going for the rest of the week. That'd be very cool. So let's see, what have we got to talk about in the world of Stampin' Up? There tomorrow, Wednesday the 6th, there will be a clearance rack refresh. So there'll be new products in the clearance rack. So it's worth popping over there and having a look, see if there's any bargains to be had. Speaking of bargains, my bog off sale is running right now. And if you've not heard about it, let me just quickly tell you, if you go over to my blog, can I? Oh, hang on. The technology here allows me to type something and put it on. Hang on. If I was sensible, I would have done this before. Oh, look. I shouldn't get this excited, but I am just a little bit excited about this. Oh dear. Okay, so I'm just reading the comments. Jan's arrived. Donna's moving back to Facebook. If she's not sure her comments are getting through. Okay, Donna. Well, I have seen one of yours. So, I don't know. Depends how many you've put. So, look at the bottom of the screen. There is a bog off. Inspiring Ink in bog off. So, all of the details are there. But basically, there are hundreds of loved stamp sets, dies, punches, paper, ribbon. The ribbon and the paper are new, obviously, but the dies and punches and stamps are all loved in some way. And basically, you shop in my online store and you get an equivalent amount free from the bog off store. So it's running right now, all the way through October. So you might think, oh, well, I found something in the clearance rack that I want. Well, then, go and shop in the bog off store as well. So do that. There is another kit running. Sorry, another kit launching, which is tomorrow, which is this tag kit. This, oh, fingers in the wrong way. This Christmas tag kit. It's like oversized tags, bigger tags, and there's some stamps and an ink pad and some cello bags as well. But that also doesn't launch until tomorrow. So there we go. Right. So let's hide that. Oh. Now I can do things like add banners and stuff. There's going to be no stopping me. There's going to be all sorts of interesting things popping up on your screen. Oh dear. Hi, Rosie. Oh, Lorraine said she went to London on Saturday for a wedding, which was wonderful. Not so much the YouTube experience. Oh, no, not the YouTube experience. The tube experience. Yeah. Was that because of the marathon? Because the marathon was running on Sunday, wasn't it? So it's probably busy from all the people staying in London overnight. Okay, so I think we are all ready to do some crafting, but I just need to pull something up on my iPad and show you a couple of cards that I have received. So this first one is from Denise. It's really lovely, and look at this is the embossing here, and it's been inked, I think. It might be chalk, but I think it's ink, which is really lovely. And then this one was from Jo, and I love the simplicity of this. So it is it's gold foil and a butterfly embossing folder, but she's put it in so it's debossed. So it's not, so it's the relief bit as opposed to the raised bit. So pretty. It's always nice to see other people's cards, isn't it? Sue said she went to see James Bond yesterday. Was it good, Sue? Was it good? It's quite a long movie, isn't it? Somebody was saying it was like 2.5 hours, 2 3/4 hours. I'm just pulling up my iPad because I need to double check some measurements, because my piece of paper with measurements on it is not here. But it's okay because I have it. Ta-da. Okay. Right. That's there. 2 3/4 hours. Okay. Right, I'm going to move my computer. Now, for those of you that have been with me here on my live for some considerable time, you will know that this can be fraught with danger. So sometimes when I move my computer, all the wires fall out. But this is new, and hopefully it won't do that. Ooh. Something is stretching. Hang on. Da-da-da. Right. So long as you're still there, I'm still here. Let's flip this camera around and see what we can get doing. Okay. Right. So cover you over. Yeah, you can see my lap. That is really not very helpful, is it? Da, 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 da. You can see the state of my floor and everything. All right, hang on. There we go. I'm just moving my coffee off the table. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Ooh. Rosie's saying, don't move anything. Yeah, I know. But needs must. So I am waiting on a few more deliveries, which will mean that I don't have to do all of the moving. There we go. Put my mouse up there. Okay. Coffee back on the table. We are good. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you about today is my most recent discovery. I'll just move that. And that is these notepads. So I am a bit of a hoarder of stationery. Lots of people hoard all sorts of things. Oh, sorry, Paul. Okay, so the captions are showing. Normally it's because the sound is off. So let me just the sound. So if you click on the screen, in the top right hand corner, there's a bubble with like a stop sign in it. Oh no, it's not that. So that's the comments. Does anybody know? If you turn, oh, so Lee's saying tap on the picture, you get 3 little dots. And it allows you to turn off captions, but it doesn't on mine. So Honestly, I don't know. Because it says on my my iPad is actually saying auto-generated captions. The only thing I can suggest, on Android it's easy, iPad's not. Yeah. The only thing I can suggest, Paul, is that you go to Facebook and go to the help on Facebook and ask, is anyone else having problems with captions? I don't think it's the settings that I've got here. I suppose it could be. Let me know. Okay, so I thought that you might all love stationery the same way that I do. So this is really, really lovely. It's called a campus refill pad. It's by Oxford and it's 90 GSM, but it is so smooth. Honestly, I can't tell you how smooth it is. And because I use my really dark pens, and you know, whilst we're on a stationery kick, these are the pens that I use. They're Pigma. See if it's going to pick it up. Pigma Graphic 1. And these are archival ink, so they're good for your scrapbooking and stuff. But I love these. So there you go. So since we're talking about stationery, I thought I would mention that. But today, what we are talking about is making notebooks. Now, I know that you can just go and buy a notebook. But whenever I buy a notebook, often the quality of the paper isn't good enough, or it's not the size that I want. So I thought I would design a notebook that would fit into my handbag and make it. And that's what I'm going to show you today. And then actually I'm going to also show you how to cover a different notebook as well. So this is the one that I'm actually going to show you how to make today. And it's just got a little flap and it's secured by this little die cut piece. And it's a lovely little notebook with lots of pages in, and it's really cool. And you know, and it's just a nice size. You know, saves you writing on the receipts when you meet up with a friend and you make an arrangement to see them at another time, and you haven't got your diary and you need a bit of paper, or I don't know, you're at a restaurant and you've got to go and place the order at the bar or whatever, and you need a bit of paper. And for all those other reasons that you need a bit of paper. So I'm going to show you how to make this one. And then I'm going to show you how to cover this one, hopefully. As long as I've got the paper that I thought I had up here. Yeah, so this is kind of another kind of standard size. So the first thing that you need to do is to make your actual notebook. And that's kind of where I started. So what I did, and I just need to get these measurements so I can write them down for you for this one. So where's that pen? So right, so they're the measurements. So this notebook, the actual notebook itself is 4 inches by 3. So if you're working in centimeters, that's 12.5 by 7.5. And all I did was I just used normal printer copier paper, you know, just standard. So this is 80 GSM. If you want fancier paper, then obviously use fancier paper. One of the things I'm going to do is that notepad that I just showed you, I'm going to chop some of those pages up and make myself a really fancy notebook. So you want to cut your paper like this and tap it really, really well. So you've got a lovely smooth edge. And then the best thing to do is to peg it together because you don't have enough fingers. And then get your Tombow glue. And I don't know whether other glues work for this because this is the glue that I always use. But the really cool thing about Tombow glue is it's a permanent glue when you stick two things together. But if you let it air dry, it's a tacky glue like a Post-it note. So what you're going to do, and I'm going to bring this up hopefully so you can see it. So you've got your nice flat edge and you're going to squeeze the Tombow over that edge. And Tombow's got latex in it. So let me just put a bit more on there. Tombow's got latex in it and it just makes a really nice strong bond. So can you see, let me pull that down a bit. Can you see on this edge, it's kind of flooded all the way through, but not so much at this end. So I just need to put more glue. And, you know, this isn't one of those cases where less is more. More is better. Because you don't want it to fall apart. So let's just see. All the way along. So can you see? All the way along. Now I then put this, say this is the edge of my table. I put that like that. So the gluey bit is hanging off the edge of the table. And then I put a punch or something heavy over the top and I leave it to dry. Now, ideally, leave it overnight. I'm just going to hang that one just there for now. I did this one a couple of hours ago and it's sticky. And this is what fell on my jeans just before I went live. So it's actually missing a bit of glue, but that you get the idea really. So this is all, it's basically, it's stuck all the pages together. Okay, so you can make, like I said, any size. So the measurements here, you need a piece of cardstock to protect the gluey bit, but also to give stability to the whole thing. And this piece of cardstock goes all the way up and round the back. So it's 5 by 3 inches. And I'm missing a trimmer, which means I can't actually do any crafting. Oh dear. Not here. It's not here. Okay. Can you talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I go and fetch my trimmer? I will be back. I'm back. I'm having a bit of a trimmer crisis at the moment because I have two. So I have two trimmers, and I have one up here in the studio and one downstairs in my office. But because I'm now doing classes out and about, I need a trimmer to take to the class. So on Friday, I had to come home because I'd forgotten the trimmer. So that trimmer is in my class kit. And obviously then I forgot this one. So I've ordered another trimmer. And then I can have one in every place. So this is 5 by 3 inches. And what we're going to do is we're going to put glue over the whole thing. There's no scoring to do on this at all, but we're going to put glue over the whole thing. And then you're going to put your paper down. And then you're just going to roll this piece over the top. And just give it a squish. And then what you can do is you use your bone folder just to kind of run it against the flat edges, just to encourage it to fold nice and neatly. And also it just helps the glue stick. I've just got a bit of extra glue there. Let me just rub that off. Ooh. Actually, better still, I will just pull that off and stick that back down. There we go. Oh, Donna's saying clear craft glue also works. She made some for the grandchildren to play with. Awesome. There we go. Okay, so that's your basic notebook. And then you're going to get some patterned paper to wrap around. So for this one, I'm going to use the gold paper, and it's 7.5 by 4.25 we need. And I'm going to explain about those measurements in a second. So 7.5 by 4.25. Let's move that to one side. Now, this card needs to be stuck into the paper. And what you want to do, if I bring this one down, you'll be able to see, is you want it so that there is a flap that comes sort of 3/4 of the way over your notebook. So just pop this down just to fold it down and just move it across a little bit, and then just give it a little bit of a squish. And then do the same from this side as well. And again, I'm not actually using measurements and I'm not scoring. I'm just encouraging this to fold where it naturally wants to fold. So once you've done that, you can just put the glue in, the glue on the back, and stick it down. Now this is 1/4 inch bigger than the notebook itself. So you've only got a tiny extra little bit there. Okay, so that is your wrap. Now, one of the things that you can do is use either a stretchy thread, or this is actually our standard gold twine. And you can just wrap it around a few times. It's not going to work for me now. This worked for me in team training, but it's just not going to work for me today. It does fit. Yeah, there we go. It will. It will, it will, it will, it will. Famous last words. Maybe it won't. Oh, yeah, it will. There we go. Obviously, if that was stretchy, it would be slightly easier. But you can see that's, I think that is just a really fancy, finishing. Or you can use the dies that I have got here. Let me just see if I can fish them out. I've actually got another notebook here that we can use. That's got the grey on the inside. Now with this one, I'm going to do the same fastening as here. So the short side comes over the top. So you can see with this one, I've got the long side over the top. This is the short side over the top. And you want your embellishment. So this is a little circle die. And buried here, I have got some lovely leaves. And these are from the Gorgeous, is it Gorgeous Leaves bundle? So let me just see if I can get these die cut pieces out and check. Let's have a quick check. Oh, okay. So Paul has got an update. He's been helping Janet sort out the captions that she didn't want on the iPad. So it says, go to your device's home screen, go to settings, accessibility, and then subtitles or captioning. And then next, to turn captions on for videos when available. So obviously, if you don't want them on, you can turn them off. I know that Facebook and all of the operating systems, but Apple and all of the others, change things all the time. And something that worked perfectly before, all of a sudden you have to switch things off or you have to turn things on. It is quite frustrating. But we can't do without our technology, that's for sure. Okay, so I've got my little leaf. I'm going to pop that down. And then you've just got to be careful when you're sticking this down. So what I want is half of it stuck down and half of it open so that the paper sort of slides underneath. Now I have tried to do this with dimensional pads and it's just not strong enough for the kind of use it gets. So let's just pop that down Give it a good press. Like so. There we go. Roz is saying that she likes these ideas for notebooks as stocking fillers. Yeah, I think they're brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, we all use notebooks all the time, don't we? Kathy Jean's arrived from Canada. Hello, hello, hello. And Jan's saying, yes, she agrees it's a good idea for Christmas. And Donna's saying, yeah, usually after an update, all of our settings change and things change. Indeed, they do. So now that's stuck. I'm just going to press that down and then it will just tuck underneath. And it's just so easy. Such an easy thing to do. Okay, so I'm going to just pop those two there. They're not going to sit nicely now. I'm going to pin them down for a minute with the Tombow. So these measurements are for the notebook size that I said. So that's 4 inches by 3 inches. And that's if you want to make a notebook. But say you've got a notebook like this, and what you want to do is you want to make something to fit this. So what I thought I would do is show you how to do that so that it's going to look nice and neat. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure it. So let's pop that there. And I'll measure it in inches and in centimetres. So it's 8 inches by 3, which is 20.5 centimetres by 7.5 centimetres. Okay. So for the card, you need an inch longer and the same width. So the inch longer is the piece that goes from here up and round, but it needs to be the same width as the card. So we're going to need it as 9 inches by 3 inches, and that will be 21, so that'll be 23 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters. Okay, and then the paper, so if you want to make it so it wraps like this, you want it 1/4 inch taller. I'm looking at that 11. Hang on. Yeah, you want it 1/4 inch taller. And I don't know. Hang on. Let me work this out. So the paper needs to be 1/4 inch taller. So it's 9.25 inches. And then you want 1.5 times the width. So you want the width. So let's look at this. So you want the width of the notebook twice, and then half of the width of the notebook. Okay, so because this notebook is 3 inches, it's the same as these ones. So it's 7.5. But say, for instance, this was 5 inches wide. It would be 2 times the width, so that's 10, plus half of the width, which would be 12.5. Does my maths make sense? Give me a thumbs up or put a yes in the comments to make sure. Oh, that's a good idea, Lorraine. So Lorraine uses Velcro dots as well. Little Velcro dots, that would work really well. And you could use a brad or a button, all sorts of things. So, okay. So the centimeters, so that's going to be 19 centimeters by, so 9¼ inches. Can I do the maths? No, hang on. I'm going to get my calculator out because my brain's not going to do that today. $9.25 times 2.54, 23.5. .5 centimeters. Okay, right. So now we've sorted that out. The measurements are there now for this one. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to dismember this bit. What I'm going to do is cut off the front sheet and I'm actually going to cut off the back as well. Now, you don't have to do this. The reason that I'm doing it is because that cardboard's just not very pretty. That's all. It's just not so pretty. And then I'm going to get some card out. Couldn't possibly not make something with blue today. So let me get that out of the way. So the card is 3 inches. Rosie's saying it makes sense. Thank you. I'm pleased because sometimes when you're explaining something, you know what you mean, but it doesn't always make sense to anyone else. Right. So I'm just going to have a quick rummage in here. I know which paper I want. It's whether or not I've got any. Yeah. So this is from Harvest. It's what we used at Craft Along, isn't it? It is called Harvest Meadow. How do I not know that? Oh no, I want that one. So the paper, that's not going to be big enough. So I've got to use this one. The paper needs to be 9¼ inches tall. And I'm just checking that I've got the writing the right way up. 9¼ by 7.5. Okay. So we are going to make this exactly the same as before. So just position it on so that the back is stuck down. You can always add just a little bit more glue. More glue at this point won't harm it. And then just fold it up and then fold it over the top. And then use your bone folder and just, so it just gives it a nice press and sort of, it makes the edges squarer, but also it kind of means that it's nice and in contact all the way along. So, you know, that looks a lot more fancy than it did before. And then we're going to do exactly the same with this. That measurement's wrong. So that measurement needs to be 1/4 of an inch longer than your notebook size, not the cardstock size. It's a good job we were doing this together. There we go. Right. So that's the right size now. Okay. I'm just going to have a quick slurp of my coffee and have a quick look because I need some thread, I think, to wrap this around. And I've got just the thing. Let's pop those to one side. Okay, so in exactly the same way as we did with the previous notebook, just wrap this over so that it's about 3/4 of the way over. Now, you don't want it right to the edge, so let's just move it a little bit. Yeah, so about there. So I guess it's about a finger width apart. Donna, I've got a big red dot next to your name. What does that mean? That's a bit strange. Do let me know. Okay, so that goes there. And then we're just going to fold that one in and over. And then we can get the glue and put the glue over the back of this. So how many of you are running around thinking, what notebooks have I got? Have I got some patterned paper? Have I got some printer paper? Yeah, don't, as a word of caution, don't use all the printer paper. Because if your hubby or the kids or the grandkids go to print something, you'll be in trouble. So don't do that. Okay, so I'm just, again, reinforcing these folds. It just gives it a nicer edge. You could score it, but I think that actually, you then, if you score it, you have to score the same width and you have to do all sorts of measuring and stuff. And for me, the joy of this is basically I needed a notepad to put in my handbag. So that's why I designed it. So, you know, that's why this is the size it is and everything else. So, and I just thought that you might like it too. So obviously with a longer thing like this, you are going to need something more to keep this closed. So the recommendations of glue dots, they would really work. I've got the silver version of this twine, which will work really well. But I've got this. And this is just so cool. It's like cobweb. It's so pretty. I don't even know what it's called. It's in the catalogue, obviously, but I don't know what it's called. It's called... Oh, no, it's not in that one. It's in the big book. I thought it was like a Halentine's. What's Halentine's? That would be Halloween and Valentine's combined. It is called... It is called Metallic Mesh Ribbon. You get 9 meters or 10 yards for £7.50. And it's just so pretty. So I thought actually it would just be really nice wrapped around here. Because you can sort of smoosh it up and make it thicker, or you can kind of leave it wide. So I thought what I would do is wrap it round 2 or 3 times. You don't want to wrap it too tightly if you're going to slide it on and off. So make sure that there's a little bit of wriggle room. So let me just pull that. There we go. And then look. Just trim it off. I don't know how well. Hopefully, when I take a picture of this, and it's on my blog, you'll be able to see better. Let me see. If I slide that underneath, can you see it better? So sparkly. But this will just then slide off and then slide back on again. So just all you have to do is kind of flex the notebook a little bit, and then it will just slide over like that. Love it. Love it, love it. So let me bring these in. To show you. Get rid of all my rubbish. Move my coffee out the way. I want anybody knowing that I'm drinking coffee whilst I'm working. Look, you see? That's like everybody's craft desk. Should be. Hi, Judith. Thanks for joining us. Don't worry, you can watch on the replay. Oh no, Donna dropped her phone. That can be a disaster. I hope it's all right. Okay, so does anyone have any questions about the notepads? So obviously you can use ready-made ones, or you can make them yourself. This is beginning to, let me see if I can zoom in. So this is beginning to set, and you can kind of see it kind of dries a little bit flatter there. But, you know, leave it overnight. Just stick a punch on it and it will just hold it flat. Brilliant. Good. So Donna's phone's okay. Jan's loving the notebooks. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rosie and Roz. Okay. So I am going to love you and leave you now. I hope whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube and live or on the replay that you've enjoyed today's craft and chat. All of the products that you've seen today can be purchased in my online store, and I will put clickable links in both places. If you would like any more information, if you'd like to go on my mailing list, do send me an email, amanda@inspiringinking.com. This one's obviously got a mind of its own today. Amanda@inspiringinking.com, and I'll pop you on the mailing list. All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you again soon.